Alright, welcome to lesson 2.3, whose title is I don't believe it. It's a very common expression of when you are surprised. I don't believe it, or I can't believe it as well. Now, in terms of function, we are going to try to tell a story, very useful, because that's what we do every day. When we tell other people what happened to us yesterday, the film we saw in the cinema, etc., we are telling stories. So we need to use the narrative verbs that we saw in the previous lesson, and we have to keep the story going. This is another function that we are going to try to learn in this lesson, and is try to help people telling us a story. Okay, we'll see how. And then very important, because you tend to make a lot of mistakes, the differences between say and tell. It's important because those are two verbs that you use very, very frequently. Alright, so the first activity is actually about the difference between say and tell. It says, when I work in pairs and discuss when do you know when someone is lying? I mean, if you notice something in their faces, in their gestures, if they make any movements, if they sweat, etc. Well, that's supposed to be done in class. And then we're supposed to read this text and check the answers. This is the text. And there you find out whether someone is lying or not according to scientists. Next, in exercise 2A, you are supposed to match this column with this column in order to form sentences. The example could be, I'm terrible at telling jokes. I always forget the punchline. Okay, the punchline is the funny part of the story or joke, the part that makes you really laugh. Okay, you start with a laughter there. Okay, and you need to do the same for the others. Next, it says, add the phrases with say and tell from this activity to the table. Okay, so for instance, say hello. Okay, in one of them is probably how it goes, or tell a story. That way you're going to see how you use ones, or when you use say and when you use tell in several particular cases. Next, in activity 3A, we're going to look at the telling a story point. It says look at the pictures. It means these 4 pictures. And what do you think is happening in each? So you're supposed to think about what's happening, simply that. And then you're supposed to listen to a woman telling her stories, or her story, and then put these 4 pictures in a sequence, in the right order, in the correct order. Remember that you have to play your file here in your e-text book. Next, in activity 4A, it says, look at the phrases we can use to help tell the sequence in a story. So put a structure in the story. Tell me what comes first and what comes next. And says, add the sequencers. Those are the expressions, because they help you make or sequence the story from the box to the correct place in the table. So basically you have the beginning, describing what happened, and the ending. So 3 parts of the story. And you're supposed to use these ones, like this happened when, and this is at the beginning. Another example in the beginning. And then we have other sequencers like, well, so these are very frequently used in oral speech. And then finally, okay, so you need to try to put these in the right column. Remember that you're going to find it in a not exactly like this in the platform, and in the platform it says use them in order of appearance. So if you find one here that corresponds to the beginning of story, the first one in line, then you put it there. If you have a second one, you put them as they appear in order of appearance here, from left to right and from top to bottom. Okay. Then you can listen to the story again and check it. And then you're supposed to go to page 130 to the language bank. Let's do that. In this part, in 130, you have a chart here, actually two charts, with expressions for, these are the sequencers, beginning of the story, describing what happened, ending of the story, so you actually can correct the previous activity with these. And then questions to keep a story going, like we said at the beginning. These are like, so what happened? So what did you do? And what happened next? Really? So you're showing surprise, you're showing interest in the story, and you want to know more, you want to know more details, etc. And really is actually should go under this category, responses to show interest. I don't believe it, or like I said at the beginning, I can't believe it, or unbelievable, oh no, oh dear, or oh my god, oh my gosh, how embarrassing, oh that's really funny, you must be joking. It's those two are very, very similar in meaning. Oh yeah, I know. Or even, oh yeah, I say. That's like, actually, when you say, yes, I say, it's actually more like this. It's more like, in this category, it's more like, I am listening to you. Keep on telling me the story. And then, once you finish looking at those, you should try and do the activities here on the next page. Activity 1 says complete the conversation with the words and the phrases in the box. It's actually just one. Okay, so you have the expressions in here. For instance, well, I was working in a photographic store. So it could be something like the beginning or something like that. So this happened when I was working in a photographic store. Okay, so you are introducing the story, and you need to put the others in the gaps, and you can correct it in the platform. And then we go back to lesson 2.3. Next, in exercise 5A, is supposed to be done in class, if any. 5B has a question for you. Do you think the woman was telling a true or a false story? And then you're going to find out by just clicking here and listening to the second part of the audio file. Now, if we move to the next activity, 6A, it says keep a story going, remember. So the idea is to show interest in the story that someone's telling us and help that person tell us more. Okay, so we've got sentences that can help someone keep telling the story. Like in the example A, what happened then? So you want to know more. If you want to look at the dialogue, the script says here's a woman and man. So anyway, I then got on the tube. So the tube is the underground, right? And to go for my interview. Right. And what happened then? Okay. So you're supposed to put them in the gaps. These expressions here, put them in the gaps in here and check in the platform. You can also listen to this again and check your answers, because you will listen to the full dialogue, and it's a good idea to do so. As for the last speaking activity, if we do this, we'll do it in class. But you can have a look at it and think about things that you could say and be ready to do it.